Hello, my guest today is Ron Flagge. He is a veteran actor of film, stage, and television. He has appeared in films such as Wicked, Obsession, The Postman Always Ring Twice, and numerous stage and plays, as well as different television series. Everyone, enjoy.
What's up, Jock?
Janet had to run out for a few minutes.
It's funny how everybody all of a sudden got all these errands they gotta run today.
She has a very busy afternoon, but if you'd like to wait.
I don't want to, but I will.
What would you like to drink?
Scotch.
There you are.
You see me now? Hi. Huh?
We tried again. You today.
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Good.
You know,
You got a nice smile on your face.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Forgive my beard, but
Oh,
that's
the
part of
thing.
my character. So I couldn't shave it.
That's part of, well, what's going on today. My son, he
Mhm.
has a beard. He's
Oh
an
yeah.
Israelite, and they wear beards.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So he's Orthodox.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. He's into that type of religion, or it's not really a religion. It's what we are.
Right.
You know,
Hmm.
if you read the Bible, we are Israelites.
Hmm.
And that's you fitting with the beard and everything.
No, thank you.
Yes. So
Hmm.
did you finish up with your screenplay, your television series?
No, I do a final shoot tomorrow, and then back to New Orleans. Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes, for everybody that do not know, Ron has been here for quite a while.
Since
Working.
October 12th.
Yes. He had a issue with COVID,
Mhm.
and he had to sort of stay low until
Yep.
he got better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to infect anybody.
right. So
Right.
have you been in a hotel all this time or staying with friends?
Oh no, I've been in a hotel. I mean, it's a nice rooms. This is week, so I can't complain. You know,
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
you
being
look
well.
rested.
I've been well paid and well fed, so no complaints on this end.
Okay. Well,
I'm just
that's
ready to
great.
go back home.
I know it's no place like home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Now let's talk about your enormous career
Hmm.
again. You know, we had started this Zoom before,
Hmm.
but you have been a veteran actor for quite a while,
Yeah, four
and
decades.
for decades,
Four
and
decades.
still going strong because you're
Yes.
in demand. Every time you turn around, you've been asked to be in various productions and plays and
Yes.
all of
Yes.
that.
I feel very fortunate. Very
Yeah.
fortunate and blessed.
Okay, well, let's
Mhm.
sort of go down memory lane
Mhm.
for those who do not know everything that you've done, because some of the major films you've done, such as Wicked, Obsession,
Green Book.
The Green Book, wow,
Yeah. Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
those are really iconic movies.
Yes,
Very
yes. Like I
nice.
say, I've been blessed. And in fact, my first film was back in the late 70s with the director Julie Dash. So if anybody's familiar with filmmaking and Black women in film,
Uh-huh.
she's like the mother of all of these women, these Black women that you see now in filmmaking. They all know about Julie Dash and Daughters of the Dust. I remember that script when it was on a yellow pad and she
Oh,
was
wow.
working on it. And I co-produced her first film.
You
So,
did. So
yes,
not only are you an actor, stage actor and screenplay and all of that, you write and you produce as well.
yes, yes, I do.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
And also you have other talents as an educator.
Yes, yes, I taught in the New Orleans public school system for about 23 years, teaching blind and visual impaired students. Mhm.
Quite a talented person.
That was my day job, as we say in the business.
While you work on your creative
Yes,
side, right?
yes, yes. Hmm.
Uh-huh. What do you like the most out of all the things you've done since?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me that. I love it all. I mean, I love what we do in film. I love what we do in television, and I really love what we do in theater. And I was talking to a friend of mine who I mentor, and she said something, I hadn't even thought about over the years. And she said, well, she said, theater makes you great. Television makes you rich, and film makes you famous.
Wow.
And I was like, that's it.
That's about right.
That's about it, because I think most of the actors that the general public love and follow, most of them started in theater. I mean, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Viola Davis. I mean, you could just go on the list. Or they become famous through film, and then they go back to Broadway and do Broadway. And people say, well, why did they go do Broadway? Well, it wasn't for the money, because
it doesn't pay as well.
No, you can make a good living, but it doesn't play nearly as much as television and film. And it's because they know they kind of missing that part of their career, and they do that. I mean, God willing, in 2 weeks, a vacation that I had to postpone because of COVID, I'm going to New York to see my friend Wendell Pierce doing Death of a Salesman, and then my friend Samuel Jackson doing the piano lesson with John David Washington.
Okay, you mentioned some very famous A-listed type of
and great actors. And great actors.
Yeah, that's the good thing about what you do. You mingling with people that have already made it, and you right there with them.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
You're blessed. I mean, when I drove a limousine for 6 years in Los Angeles back in the 80s, I mean, Muhammad Ali was like one of my main clients.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just such a great man. And I met Sidney Poitier.
While you were working?
No, matter of fact, I met Sidney Poitier.
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine invited me to play tennis at a place called the Tennis Place. And anybody that lived in Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s, they know about the Tennis Place if they play tennis. And he told me, he said, well, we might run into some very famous people there. I was like, look, I just want to play tennis with you. Let's go. So we go there, and of course, we're walking to our court, and there's Sidney Poitier playing tennis. So I see him, and so we go play. Then after we finish playing and we go to the clubhouse, there's Sidney Poitier. Standing there. And my friend Mal Adams, who today lives in Japan, and he was a news correspondent then, and he still is. And he's talking to Sidney and stuff, and Sidney knew him. And Sidney turns around and looks at me, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, how you doing, young man? And I really cannot tell you exactly what I said or did. I was in awe. I mean, he was such a gentleman and such a nice person. And I don't know. I don't even remember if I told him my name or whatever, And I must have, because he said, oh, so you're a young actor. And I said, yeah. And I said, we have a mutual friend. And I mentioned Harry Rhodes. And Harry was my mentor and friend. If you remember the shows, The Bold Ones and Daktari.
Okay.
When we were kids, when we were growing up.
Right.
Yeah, well, Harry Rhodes was a star in those, television shows.
Okay.
When you didn't have many Black people, having shows and starring.
You rarely saw
you
anyone
know.
black on TV or
Exactly.
shows,
Exactly.
like Flip Wilson was one of the first comedians that
I
had his own
also
TV show.
I spent a week with Flip Wilson back in the 80s.
You did?
My life, I have crossed a lot of paths of some great people, and Flip was so genuine to me. I taught him and his daughter some roller skating stuff because I met him on a film called Skate Town USA,
Okay.
and he was doing, of course, his character Geraldine,
Uh-huh.
and I could tell he couldn't skate. I mean, he just couldn't skate. So I was like, I got to help the brother out, and we wound up playing more golf than we did roller skating
Okay.
because he was a golfer, and
Uh-huh.
and he invited me to play with him, and that was a week in my life that I always cherished.
Wow.
Because
So
when you meet people like that, it's not. I mean, they don't often just invite people into their lives.
you're
You know.
right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a lot to write about when you start writing your book.
I have it journaled. I have it.
Oh,
I've
you
been
really?
I've been keeping a journal since 1977.
1977?
So you're in it too.
Uh,
You're in it too, because I write about you. I was like, I met Charlie on social media, and we've literally been friends. And now I'm finally getting to be interviewed by her.
after
So
all this time.
that's in my journal.
Wow. Well, I'm honored that you added me to your list of people. That's great. That's great. But you have done a lot. So what about your family? You have children, right?
Mhm. Yes, I
Okay.
do.
And you're a single man right now, or
Yeah, I'm a
what's your
divorced
status?
man, 14 years.
14 years.
But I
Okay.
have 5 children,
Oh, that's great.
two biological and 3 stepkids. And
Okay. Are
so,
they following in your footsteps?
um,
You don't know?
no, no. My daughter has a PR firm, so that's close.
Nice. I
So
could
that's
use
close.
her.
Yeah.
They all live in New Orleans?
No, no,
No? Just
no.
scattered?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, California, Belize, um, my stepkids. One's in Texas, one's in another part of Louisiana, and then the youngest is in New Orleans. And they're all grown
Yeah,
people these
yeah.
days.
Well, they can I'm sure they come back to New Orleans to see you from time to time, I guess.
Yeah, we kind of, when they get older,
They got their own
they
stuff,
have
right?
their own life, and
Don't I know that?
you're just there. You have my number. Okay, you know what? Okay, just if you need me, just call.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good. That just lets you know you did what you needed to do so
Did
they can
something
be
right.
independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you did your job.
Some
And that's
parents, it's like it's kind of rough, you know.
yeah. What's happening today in today's society
Oh,
is really terrible. A lot of young people going out and shooting people up and stuff. And so that's bad.
it's really sad. I I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, it's not the whole problem, but a big part of the problem is you have these young boys growing up with no male mentor or
Mm,
nothing. Okay.
That's so
I mean,
true.
I had my stepfather, um, uncles, just other men around, older brothers,
Yeah,
growing
role
up. I mean,
models.
you know, you, they need people, to grab them by the ear. I'm not talking about being abusive, but it's like, son, that's not good what you're doing. You know what I
Yes,
mean? You need to pick another way to live your life. Go to school, get you an education, and
exactly.
that will open up and broaden your mind. I mean, because some people really need that. They
A
really
lot
need
of people
somebody
need
to
that.
grab
I
them.
mean,
Yeah.
they need that
Mhm.
so they can see how to go. They need a role model, to
Mhm.
sort of look up to. I agree.
And
Yeah.
as a school teacher, I would tell parents, it's like, yeah, okay, we have your kids here at school, but you're the parents.
Yeah.
You're the ones that they should look up to and admire. I mean, a lot of people put stuff on teachers that's not really our job.
Don't I know that? I'm a substitute teacher, or at least I was
Hmm.
until Corona came, and I just
Hmm.
gave that up.
Right.
But kids, a lot of them are lost.
Hmm.
I know I had a situation where I was giving this young man something to take home to his mother, and
Hmm.
he sort of threw it back at me and said, "Oh, she's not gonna read that. She's on drugs." You know,
Yeah.
that was his attitude. And,
Hmm.
that may be true or may not have been true, but,
Hmm.
something was wrong because he definitely was out of line. And
Oh yeah, they don't have and I have to say a large percentage, but not most of them, but they just don't have a healthy fear of their parents. See, it's nothing wrong with, no, I'm not doing that because my mom or my dad is gonna kill me. Okay.
right,
I mean, it's like that's a healthy fear.
right.
Okay. I think about things that I may have thought about doing in my early days in Los Angeles and in Hollywood. And I was like, my grandma's still alive.
Yeah.
I don't think I want her to see me doing something like that. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
it wasn't just my
Yeah.
mom. I think about my grandmothers because I love both of them. And I spent a lot of time with them when I was a kid. And they just loved me to death. The love I couldn't get at home, I got with my grandparents. And I was
And
like, no,
you didn't want to
the money
disappoint them.
might be here for a minute, but it's like, once it's on film or something, it's there forever.
It's there forever. And you're right. You can say, well, I decided I want you to just delete me out of this
Mhm.
film. That will not happen.
No, no. Once you got it, baby, that's it. That's it. I read this article on Sidney Poitier, and well, I've read all of his books too. And he was talking about a role that he turned down because the character did something that he knew his father wouldn't do.
Okay.
And at that time, it was a lot of money that he turned down that movie. And I was like, yeah, see,
Yeah, it's
I
not the
mean,
money all the time, for sure.
exactly. He knew that he was representing not just himself, but his family and a whole race of people.
A
And he
whole
was
race
like,
of
"No,
people.
can't do
Yeah.
that."
You have to have some character,
Well,
not
integrity
be
means
sold
something,
out.
Integrity does mean something.
It does.
Okay, it means a lot to me. And when we talk about our kids and young people seeing the lack of integrity from our so-called leaders, then that means you have to have integrity. Don't just throw it away because you see somebody else doesn't
Mhm.
have it. That's no excuse.
No
It's no
excuse.
excuse.
Right.
Okay. Just because somebody else doesn't have integrity doesn't mean that you can't have it.
That's right.
You
We
know,
all have to represent
that's
ourselves,
right.
and
Hmm.
you're responsible for what you do.
Oh, exactly. Because agents, because I want to tell you, because your agent, they'll try to get you to do some things in this business. And you'll be like, nah, you know, because they get you when you're hungry or you between jobs and stuff. And you go, no, no, no.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't want. Oh,
They
but
want their commission.
oh yeah, and then the producers will start offering you more money, and it's like,
Yeah,
you either do it or you don't. And once you do it, don't complain. You chose to do it.
you chose to do it. You're
Yeah.
right.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
getting back to your beautiful career,
Mhm.
you did Selma,
The musical,
the
the musical
musical.
Selma.
That was in New York.
No, in New Orleans. They did it in New
Oh,
Orleans.
okay. So you
Mhm.
do a lot of stage plays in New Orleans. No.
Most of the big shows that I've done, musicals on stage, has been in New Orleans. Selma, we did 3.5 years ago. We did a off-Broadway production of Ragtime, where I played Booker T. Washington.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
in theater people or musical people will be familiar with Grey Gardens. We did an off-Broadway production of that in New Orleans. And like I mentioned to you before, that is the hardest job in show business,
Theater.
musical theater. Ask anybody who's done musical theater and they will tell you,
Yeah,
because it is
I've
just
done
a
it
lot.
once.
So see, even one time, and you
Just one
remember, you remember the rehearsing
Right.
and the dance steps, and then you got to go home and learn your lines, and
Exactly.
you got to do everything.
Everything. Yeah, I was
Everything.
in That's Entertainment.
Oh
And
yeah, see,
not
that's
only
a
was
big one.
I
That's a
part
big
of
one.
the crew and everything,
Mhm.
they had me emceeing the whole production.
So there you go.
Yes, that was interesting, but it was
Mhm.
interesting, but it was a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
and then you have to rehearse a lot.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to do the show, matter of fact, I saw John David Washington being interviewed. Was it Colbert? I can't, there's so many talk shows and I can't remember which one. I think it might have been Colbert show. And he was talking about how hard it is and all the work. And he's like, and you just get one shot. That's right. In film and television, we can go, oh, cut,
No.
please. When you're doing a live show, there is no cut.
Right.
You jump a line or something, you got to
You just
just
have to
keep
go with it.
going. You just have to keep going. You can't let the audience know that, because most actors, when we're watching shows, we can tell when something happens because the actor's eyes will get bigger, or, or they'll do something. Because the live show, things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, things happen. Things happen with the sound, or something happens with the lighting, or you have a costume malfunction.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep going.
Got to keep going.
And
right.
that's like one of the great parts about it, because you learn to think fast on your feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, because the show's got to keep going, and you just do it.
And you don't want to be the one to mess up the whole production.
No, you don't want. And in this day of COVID, it's like it's so hard. I mean, because somebody gets COVID, that's 10 days. That's at least 10 days. That they can't be around anybody. I'm speaking for myself. I just been through it. You just have to scroll yourself away for 10 days and treat yourself and eat soup and do this and whatever until you get better.
Well, what about the other cast members or crew members? Were they just in limbo until you came back, or do they just?
Oh no. In
what
TV,
did they do?
In TV and film, baby, they just get together and
shoot certain
reschedule
scenes.
stuff. And in this particular show, which I can't talk too much about.
You can't tell me about it. Okay.
They've got about 12 episodes to shoot, so they just go on and shoot something else, and just come back to your stuff when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Can you at least tell me what type of character you play?
Type of character. Well,
you can't tell me.
The type is me, and no, anything I say is gonna kind of give it away. So.
Oh, okay.
Because even the name of it might change, so it's like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're gonna let me know when it's.
I will see,
premiere.
But you're one of the people I will let you know. that, you know, the show is going to be coming on, you know, next year on NBC and probably WB. So
Also NBC.
and the
Okay.
Warner Brothers production.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
you know, a lot of days they do a lot of, you know, conjunctive stuff.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Mhm.
tell me about Queen Sugar
Oh, Queen Sugar, I
working with
worked with
Oprah production, Oprah. How did that work out?
I played a character who was a friend of Glenn Turman. Glenn Turman's character died, and I was a good friend of his, and I was at their funeral, and I played the Master Mason in 2 episodes, and directed by Ava DuVernay.
Oh, okay. She's brilliant, isn't she?
I
Yeah.
have nothing but superlatives for her.
Uh-huh.
She treated me really great.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And
Yeah.
it was a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Now, are you looking forward to the Black Panther coming?
Yes, I am.
The 10th, is it the 10th of November?
I think it's November 11th.
Looking for what?
Yeah.
Well, that,
I think it's November 11th that it
yeah,
comes
I
out in
mean
the
November.
theaters.
Yeah, November the 11th. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. You know.
Yeah, they had something on Hulu talking about it.
Mhm.
You may want to, if you screen on
Mhm.
Hulu, you
Mhm.
may can find out the backstory about, you know, they showed a little clip of what's coming up too.
Yeah, I saw it on I think it was CBS.
Oh, it was on
Yeah,
CBS too?
a couple of days ago. Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I expected it to be grand and great. I mean, because Ryan Coogler, I mean, that's like his baby, you know. But I mean, and I have no doubt that, you know, he does justice to, you know, Chadwick Boseman. I mean, there's just some people in my eyes in the business, you know, they always bring their A game.
Yes.
I mean,
He
and he's
certainly
just a
did.
young brother that I knew nothing about. But when I saw his work, I said, yeah, he knows the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just a great director and writer. So,
Yeah. Wow. It's a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. We are Israelites. We are the chosen people.